Be 8-3.
Our three officials, Justin Poluch, Tony Patillo, and Pastor Torres. It will be Pastor Torres throwing the ball up. It will be Jade Blogrove for Manhattan and Michaela Morris for Quinnipiac. Bobcats open up on the offensive end. Amani Free in the starting lineup once again. C.T. Haywood likely back in the next couple of weeks, but suffered a knee injury 2 games ago in a loss at Iona. Caverly has played well in the starting role, especially of late. Bonner tracks it down. Bonner, like Free, starting the season coming off the bench. DeWeese gets inside, and DeWeese called for the travel, and Manhattan will have its first possession of the game. We take a look at the Jaspers starting lineup. Their head coach, Heather Vulin, now in her 6th season. Starting lineups brought to you by Connecticut Orthopedics. CT Orthopedics, the official sports medicine provider of the Quinnipiac Bobcats. Log on to their website at ct-ortho.com.
Well, coming into this game, you know there's a lot on the line. In each MAC contest, the winner changes their seed, changes their standing, so this game's an important one.
Caverly in the front court as we take a look at the Bobcats starting lineup. DeWeese, Caverly, and Morris have been the mainstays in the Quinnipiac lineup. As I mentioned, Free and Bonner began the season coming off the bench. Bonner, 5-second violation, so 2 turnovers on the first 2 possessions for Quinnipiac.
Well, they were looking to get the ball inside to Morris there, Bonner, and, at some point you got to have an internal clock, right, Di? You got to be thinking as I'm feeding it, after 4 seconds, I got to put it on the floor because then I get a new 5-second count.
And I think Michaela was looking for the ball, screaming for it, and we just took our eyes off it.
And I think if you're a fan of Quinnipiac, you get Morris now engaged in wanting the ball, you got to give it to her.
Blogrove working against Morris. Scoop shot, no. And the ball saved on the end line. Davis on the baseline missing. Warley offensive rebound. Manhattan maintains possession. Opening 90 seconds, first quarter. First of 2 regular season meetings between these two schools. They have not met since December of 2020. Basket good by Blogrove. Manhattan first 2 points of the game.
Manhattan kept that possession alive twice, and 1 for 3 on the possession, but they got their 2 points. Quinnipiac's got to rebound better on a defensive end.
And the Jaspers are known for the rebounding with Courtney Warley in the game. She's one of the leading rebounders in the conference.
Manhattan the other way. Brazil Harvey Carr on the pull-up, no. Morris position underneath. And Blogrove trying to sneak in behind, trying to poke it away, or Worley rather, unable to do so. DeWeese missing inside. A foul is going to be called, and it is on Quinnipiac and Mackenzie DeWeese, her first. Heather Vulin, head coach of the Manhattan Jaspers, named as Manhattan's head coach in April of 2016. Postseason for the first time last season. Prior stops as an assistant at Virginia Tech, Villanova, and in Connecticut at Sacred Heart.
And Coach Rulin has really changed the culture at Manhattan. She really has brought them into a winning program and in the upper tier of the MAC schools.
And she's done it by bringing in good players, right? Listen, everybody coaches the same, quite honestly. You got to get players in order to execute what you want to do, and she's done a great job recruiting.
Monty Free putting the ball on the floor, gets the step, able to finish with the left hand.
Yeah, you don't miss a beat, really, when you think about Haywood coming off a game where she got 31. That 4 position has been Quinnipiac's strength. You put Free in that position, and she continues to excel. So that's an advantage for the Cats.
And, Di, we touched on the numbers with Bill in the open on Amani Free, the 19 points, but 16 rebounds as Davis hits on her first shot of the game. She had 5 assists and a pest on the defensive end with 4 steals.
Well, she's an all-around good player. I mean, she's got good size, she's agile out here, good hands, great instincts, and she's been with the program. So she knows what Coach Fabry wants, she knows the system, and she's waiting for her time, and the time is here.
And Davis, the foul there, her first of the game from the Bronx in New York, from Truman High School. So we take another look at Amani.
So she catches the ball in secondary break transition. They close out on the shot, and she takes it to the rim. Listen, I watched Dreamgirls last night, all-time favorite movie. And you watch Jennifer Hudson, right? Jennifer Hudson was a career backup singer, never really got an opportunity, and then stepped out. That's Amani Free. She's not a backup singer. She's a star.
And speaking of opportunity, Jackie Grisdale of late has made the most of her opportunity. She's also coming off a career game at points.
Well, it seems like Coach Fabry wanted some more scoring opportunities from the backcourt in the guard position, and Jackie provides that. She got the nod at St. Peter's, and she went to work and scored buckets.
Jenna Jordan off the bench for Manhattan, knocking down from long range, and the Jaspers a 4-point advantage. They've had 3 different scorers early on in this game as we've got just over 4 minutes off the clock. Free missing, rebound for Brazil Harvey Carr, who goes the other way. Lawgrove, they work it inside for Warley. Warley with the bucket, 8 points by 4 different scores for the Jaspers.
Yeah, they come out Manhattan now. They've executed pretty good, controlling a little bit the tempo and the pace in the half-court set.
And they also have great command of the rebounding stats right now. They have 7 rebounds.
Frey turnaround, short on the jumper. And Manhattan again holding Quinnipiac to 1 shot. Bobcats as a team just 1 of 6 from the field. Harvey Carr missing, ball batted around in the paint area. Warley comes away with it.
And once again, Steve, right, second chance for Manhattan. They're using their height, athleticism, and quickness to get all the loose balls.
Davis, high arcing shot is good. Davis hitting on the 3, and Manhattan is opened up to an 11-2 advantage. We've got 4:57 to go and a timeout on the floor.
She was scoring from all over, so you're ready and you know that you want to limit her touches to the basketball.
Or you don't care, right? And I get the sense right now Manhattan doesn't care. You know, they got 12 shots because they have interest in rebounding the basketball. And Quinnipiac right now hasn't shown any interest or effort in getting that ball off the glass.
And that interest is on both ends.
No doubt.
Morris looking inside, 3-second violation. Morris giving the ball up. And she gave the ball up, but as we've touched on in the past, one of the things in that situation, at least give her an opportunity to show an interest in getting out of the paint.
It's just, again, those are calls I think should never be called 3 seconds. She's making an offensive play. She's looking to make a pass, and she's not just 3 seconds is for clogging up a lane.
Exactly.
She certainly wasn't doing that.
She wasn't parked in there.
On the steal, Quinnipiac trying to cut into a 9-point deficit. Morris, cross court, Davis a near steal. Shot clock, plenty of time right now for Quinnipiac. It's inside of 15. Caverly looking for the move. Caverly the jumper, too strong back iron. Deweese offensive rebound. And a foul is going to be called. Mackenzie Deweese did have a little bit of a reaction, may have gotten hit up near the face. And the foul on Brazil Harvey Clark.
It's surprised you see any reaction from Mackenzie when she gets hit, right? She's an MMA fighter. It's like, yeah, that don't bother me much.
Credits playing against her brothers for that grit that she shows game in, game out.
I tell you what, I bet her brothers give her credit for playing against her.
Well said. Amani Free barely grazing the iron. Dee Davis underneath. Davis had an injury late in the season a few years ago. Missed all of the 19-20 season. Missed there. Free the rebound. And the outlet for Rose Caverly. Both teams going with the starters early on. Morris inside position. Unable to get the shot to fall. Harvey Carr the rebound. Risdell picks her up in transition. Open look on the perimeter. 3 off the mark by Blagrove. Here is Deweese. Looking for the cutter. Free inside. Amani Free fouled. And she will go to the line for 2 free. The only bucket so far for Quinnipiac. Bobcats 1 of 9 overall from the field.
And sometimes if your half-court offense isn't working, you've got to force transition. And this is exactly what Rose Cavalry does. She passes to Deweese, who gets covered, and then she's able to give it up to Amani Free, who's sprinting down the floor.
Yeah, you're hard to guard in transition. I think Manhattan's done a really good job in their half-court set, really putting pressure on Quinnipiac and doing a good job getting the top over screens. They seem to be connected, playing at a high pace. So I agree, Di. If Quinnipiac can get the ball off the glass, because Manhattan's not afraid to send offensive players to get offensive rebounds. The only way you counter that is by taking the ball up and running.
Amani Free, 2 free throws. She's got all 4 of Quinnipiac's points to this point. Bobcats down 7. Tyrell Walden put it in the Quinnipiac game notes. Free, 13 of her 19 Monday at St. Peter's in the first quarter. her idol, and she does wear number 24, Dee Davis with the bucket. And Tyrell putting in the game notes. Freeze idol Kobe Bryant, drafted 13th overall back in 1996. Wasn't drafted by the Lakers organization, was drafted by Charlotte, traded following the draft. But Kobe Bryant, all these years later, and we're coming up on the anniversary of his passing a few years ago along with his daughter, but 13th overall, not taken number 1 out of Lower Merion.
Feel hard to believe.
Davis, shot rims out. Warley underneath.
And Manhattan's ability to control the boards both on the offense and defensive end has really catapulted them into this big lead.
Well, there's no change in tempo for Manhattan. They're playing just as quick defensively as they are offensively. They've been fun to watch early on.
Caverly draws the foul. Warley on the other end with the bucket. She averages just under 10 a game, but she's also above and in double figures, averaging almost 10.5 rebounds a game.
Yeah, shot fake gets you an opportunity to go ahead and dribble inside, and really good job by Caverly with 2 dribbles, going 19 feet from the top of the key and getting in for contact. Sometimes guards, when you catch and rip, have a tendency to put it on the floor 3 or 4 times, which allows the defense to get back into you and be able to guard you.
And Manhattan's a physical team, so the Bobcats have got to be able to shoot with people poking at them, on them, and slicing through them.
Yeah, that combination of being physical and then being quick is really difficult for a half-court offense if you're not moving without the ball.
Mackenzie Helms into the game for the first time. Rose Caverly hitting 2 free throws, 81% on the season from the free throw line, going to the bench. Dee Davis. Morris coming over with the help. And Morris, tie-up situation underneath.
That was a good sequence for Morris. She walled up on the defensive end, stayed with the play, and kept it alive.
Yeah, she got a little jump to her step today. Doing a really good job early on. Hasn't had a break offensively. The ball hasn't fallen, but some pretty good releases.
Becca Wilson, 24 for Manhattan, tied up with Morris. Shot clock at 6 for the Jaspers. Corner 3 is good for Sydney Watkins, coming off the bench and making a contribution early on.
You know, Di, as a coach, I spent a lot of time game before game running 5-on-0, right, just to get your stuff in. It looks like Manhattan is dry running their stuff 5-on-0, doing what they want when they want.
Well, Manhattan is very good at end of shot clocks. They have 3 people that can score, that don't need a lot of time and don't really need a lot of separation.
Quinnipiac, shot clock to 4. Morris inside. Morris draws the foul. Sydney Watkins averaging just under 4 a game and 36% from the season on threes, knocking one down here.
I think to Di's point, you can see 4 seconds on the shot clock, but there certainly was no rush in that shot. It all came in rhythm. They knew what they needed to do, and their execution, honestly, has been flawless. I think Dee Davis is, well, she's better than I thought she was, and she just has command of the basketball, being able to make plays, and Manhattan's been really good in this first quarter.
Well, Davis came off of an ACL injury, and it takes a while to get your step back. She came out of high school being highly recruited for her offensive play, and now she's able to be recovered and rehabbed, and she's out here to play.
All-MAC rookie team, 18-19. All-MAC second team a year ago. Morris the rebound. Under a minute to go. 11-point Quinnipiac deficit right now. Bobcats have just 7 points. Morris missing from long range. And Harvey Carr the rebound, and she does a terrific job not only grabbing the defensive board but starting the break all by herself. Gets inside against Morris. Morris with the block, out of bounds, and it will be off Manhattan. Quinnipiac basketball, 41.1 to go.
Hey, that's a heck of a point, Steve, right? It's one thing getting a rebound and then blowing out and leading a fast break by giving it to a guard. But if you can quickly rebound, blow out, and then carry the pace of play as fast as everybody else, you've just added another ingredient to transition that most teams don't have.
Both teams entering at 9-7 overall, 4-3 in the MAC. Here is Helms against a defender, Sina Michaela, who just entered into the game. Tie-up situation, possession arrow belongs to Quinnipiac. And 29.5 on the clock. Officials coming together, Tony Patillo and Justin Paluch. Bella Nascimento is going to check in, number 5 for Manhattan. As Sydney Watkins goes to the bench. 29.5. Quinnipiac can hold for the final shot. Morris misses the jumper. Free offensive rebound. Free puts it up, no good. Warley the rebound. Now Manhattan can hold for one. They've got plenty of time on the clock. I'm not sure Quinnipiac realized the clock situation there, perhaps.
Well, Manhattan's got him a little bit flustered on the offensive end, and I think you get frustrated when you don't make shots, but Manhattan's been really good.
Nascimento missing with 1 second. Morris the rebound. Quinnipiac just 1 of 14 overall from the field in the first quarter. Dee Davis helping lead the way for the Jaspers. She knocked down one of their 2 Manhattan on the glass. 6 for 6-3 on the offensive end, and Amani Free for Quinnipiac with 4 of Quinnipiac's 7 points in the first 10-minute stanza.
Well, actually, the Cats are lucky to be down only 11 with making 1 field goal in the first quarter.
Well, that's a good point.
So the Jaspers are having their way on the offensive end, and on the defensive end, they've just really made Quinnipiac worry about every shot.
And the advantage they've had offensively is the fact that they've been able to take the ball off the rim because Quinnipiac has shot it so poorly and played primary in transition. So Quinnipiac's been chasing. They changed defenses now, really good job over there by Quinnipiac's bench. They changed defense, go to a 2-3 zone, just change the momentum a little bit.
9 to shoot for the Jaspers. Davis with 7 in the first quarter. Davis, long three-pointer, hit the backboard, shot clock violation. Bobcats will take over, and they get the defensive stand to open up the second quarter here at home.
And sometimes when you go back to your zone, it puts you in better rebounding position where you know where you are, you know your area, and you're ready to go and grab the defensive rebound.
Morris working hard for position, going one-on-one against Warley. Cross court, Free, look on a three-pointer, that's good. Amani Free with 7 of Quinnipiac's first 10, Bobcats with an 8.
First possession for Quinnipiac where I think there was a purpose to what they were doing. They had a really good hard feed into Morris, turned quick, and didn't throw one of those balloon passes cross court. Threw it with pace, and Free knocks it down.
Davis up top. Davis gets inside, called for the travel. Turnover, number 5 for Manhattan.
And
yeah, you get a chance to watch the execution, and the speed of Morris's pass allows space. And when you have space, your shooting percentages goes up by 20 to 25%.
And how about Bonner's little brush screen to make sure that no one got out to Free?
Boy, they're really banging Morris down there, and officials letting him get away with it. Laying into a lower body pretty hard.
DeWeese with the much taller Courtney Warley on her. Warley is going to be called for the foul, and Warley picks up her second. So Heather Vullen may have a decision to make here. Jenna Jordan goes to the bench for Manhattan. And Courtney Watkins checks in.
You're going to see that replay there, and you saw what Bonner was able to do, just get her body in the way to give Free some space. But, again, it all starts with the feed and the pass, and another strong ball reverse by Morris.
And you see how Coach Fabry made the changes where the ball's going into Morris, and she's quickly getting it to the other side.
Morris, turnaround in the paint, gets a lot of rim, gets the shot to fall.
And that's something we'd like to see more of Morris do. Get the ball, reverse pivot, and take it strong to the hole.
I think the beauty of what we see with Morris today, Di, and we've been watching her play for the last couple of weeks, is she just hasn't had a lot of bounce to her step. Certainly engaged, active to start the game.
Quinnipiac, 1 of 14 from the field in the first quarter, opening up 2 of 2, Free of 3. And Morris getting the touch in the paint area as Manhattan will inbound, 7:55 to go here in the first half. Davis against Bonner, working inside, no good. Weak side rebound from Mackenzie DeWeese.
Good help side defense by Rose Calvary.
Outstanding.
Here is Caverly looking inside the paint area, nothing there. Gets inside, blocked by Blagrove, and Manhattan going the other way. Harvey Carr feeds the wing. Watkins missing on the 3. Bonner the rebound.
And credit Morris for just disrupting that shot.
Free gets a look. Misses on the three-pointer, but is fouled by Courtney Watkins. And Amani Free will have 3 free throws coming up.
Good transition by Quinnipiac. Now you'll be able to check here and get the ball into Free in the corner. Has space.
And I liked how she checked to make sure she was behind the 3. You know, she looked down, and then Watkins tried to come out and close out, and it was a little too late and fouled her.
19 for Amani from Syracuse, New York, and Cicero North High School. A season high, career high 25 last year in January at Ryder.
You know, you sit in, you take a peek, and you're watching. Why isn't anybody from Quinnipiac in the lane, right? And what Trish Quinnipiac wants to do is avoid someone stepping in and not having a violation. So on the last end of every free throw, they always put their 2 players back in. They have pretty good coaching moves. Something that goes unnoticed, but pretty good coaching move.
And it also gives them a chance to talk a little bit. You know, get them all in position. If she has something to direct from the bench, they're all on the same page.
4-point game. Bobcats have trailed by as many as 12. Davis up top. High arcing 3. Boy, she can bring rain with her shot. Warley inside. Courtney Warley. Again, offensive board and the putback basket. Grace Labarge in the game. Gives her Grisdale. Grisdale putting the ball on the floor. Cut off by the defender, Harvey Carr. Caverly against Davis. Labarge in the corner. Shot clock at 6. Bonner falls down out of bounds. And Manhattan basketball on the Quinnipiac turnover. And Grisdale, Labarge both on the floor. That offensive trip looked like they were a little bit out of rhythm as Mackenzie DeWeese checks back in and Bonner goes to the bench.
Hey, I'm not sure they were out of rhythm. I think they stood still. Right? You want to tell if an offense is playing well and you're watching at home. Watch if the defense is moving. If the defense is moving, your offense is moving. No green shirts moved that time. Quinnipiac stood still that whole possession.
Harvey Carr knocks down the three-pointer. And just like that, Quinnipiac to within 4 and now down 9. Bobcats have not led at any point. DeWeese has been held in check in this game so far. Missing, gets her own miss. A lot of green jerseys in the paint area. Now Morris, baseball pass. Labarge gets the look at the 3. That one rims out. And the rebound again for Warley. Warley already 8 rebounds, already closing in on her season average. Puts the ball on the floor, spins. Jordan inside, shows the soft touch.
Well, anytime the Jaspers are able to get below the free throw line, good things are happening for them. They're getting the Bobcats off on defense, and they're seeing open shots and getting some easy looks.
Manhattan, again, solid defensively. Caverly may have been a little in between there. Missing the shot. Manhattan back with the basketball. Good pass inside. And Morris is going to be called for the foul on Jenna Jordan.
You've seen Manhattan, and again, if Quinnipiac doesn't put the ball in the basket, huge advantage goes to Manhattan. Their ability to bring the ball up the court, continue to go ahead and be disciplined and where their secondary break is, where you're supposed to be, has been the difference so far in the first 2 quarters of this game.
Well, they all know exactly where each other are and their lanes, and they get down there very, very quickly, and they're not afraid to give the ball up.
Helms and Frey back in the game for Quinnipiac, joining DeWeese, Grisdale, and Michaela Morris. 27-14. 9-0 run for Manhattan after Quinnipiac had gotten it to within 4. Grisdale with a strong take on the right side.
A really good move by Grisdale. Listen, they got the scout on her. They got closed out. She was able to put it on the floor and get it to the rim. Good move by Grisdale.
Quick three attempt by Harvey Carr. DeWeese the rebound. DeWeese 0 of 3 from the field, and the foul. And Blagrove along with DeWeese both going to the floor. Under 5 media timeout. Manhattan has not trailed here in Hamden, up 27-6 on Sunday against Dartmouth. That will be on ESPN+. Both games will be on ESPN+. Again, coming up on our Hartford Healthcare halftime show, Diane will visit with Amanda Mazzata-Alisi. How about the men's program, winning 5-1 against Colgate on the road Friday night, now 18-1-3, number 1 in the entire nation.
Yeah, got a big one tonight, the men do, up at Cornell. So Cornell's a really good hockey club, and it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
How about both programs being in the top 5 of the country?
They certainly have taken advantage of what Quinnipiac has to offer, and you know, that People's United Center on the other side with a full hockey arena. It's incredible success.
Brazil Harvey Carr with the deflection. Quinnipiac 20 to shoot as Helms will trigger the inbounds in the corner to our left. Tough place to inbound. In for DeWeese. Was not gotten off to a hot shooting start. Here is Grisdale. Jackie Grisdale with 5 for Quinnipiac. And the Bobcats with an 8.
Yeah, you mentioned DeWeese hasn't been able to get her groove on, but you need to understand, 2 quick people now are playing her. She made the right play, and Grisdale answered the bell.
And they're going with length as well with Blagrove and Warley. Shot off the mark. Put back is good on the offensive rebound by Jenna Jordan. She's been solid early on for Manhattan. Jasper lead back to 10.
And the rebounding, it really has been the difference in this game. And it's given the Jaspers more shots and less opportunities for the Bobcats.
I'm surprised how dominant Manhattan's been on the offensive glass. And, you know, most teams are afraid to keep 3 bigs in there to rebound because they're afraid of the consequences of blowing it out. And it looks like they got that one on Morris, Steve.
And that is her second. That was the original call. Justin Paluch and Tony Patillo coming together. So Morris with Quinnipiac down 10 to the bench with a second foul. Kat Almeida on the floor for the second time here in the first half. Davis speeds into the front court, then puts on the brakes against Grisdale. And Trish Fabry told us yesterday that Jackie Grisdale was going to get an assignment or 2 defensively against Davis.
Yeah, so she likes her quickness, she likes her length, and she likes her basketball IQ. And you need all 3 to defend Dee Davis.
Foul is going to be called on Manhattan, and Courtney Warley, yes, it is on Warley. And Becca Wilson is going to spell Warley, who goes to the bench with her 3rd personal foul.
You know, when coaches start singing your praises to others, it's not what you do in the game. It's what you've been able to do every single day in practice.
Grisdale misses a 3, free offensive rebound. Almeida. As Quinnipiac now trying to capitalize on a second opportunity. DeWeese with a second defender coming over. Tried to hit it off Blagrove, unable to do so. And Diane Nolan, I think, is going to provide a little assistance here. Yeah, there's the coach right there. There goes the headset.
What Manhattan has done to DeWeese is they are forcing her to the baseline because they know the game plan is to get the weak side help to come and double her on the baseline. They're locking her up. DeWeese does a lot of damage when she gets one-on-one, goes baseline and finish. Manhattan's bottling her up, and she hasn't been able to go ahead and say, okay, listen, I got to stay away from that trap, and I got to turn around and go the other way.
Welcome back, Di.
Thank you. Sometimes I think DeWeese also passes up a good shot. She catches the ball, and they haven't closed out yet. She's got good range. Maybe take a quick shot once in a while to loosen up the defense.
Heather Volan. Our Jaspers have not trailed here in the first half. Jumped out to an 11-2 start. Bucket there. Harvey Carr making it a 12-point lead. Under 3 minutes to go in the second quarter here at the People's United Center.
And she transferred, right, Carr?
Yes. Yes.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Yeah, pretty good player.
DeWeese, first bucket of the game. There she took what the defense initially got the defender in the air, took what the defense was going to give her.
Hey, that was in her headset that time, right? It was in her ear saying, shoot the ball. Nice job, coach.
Foul. Free has a smile on her face. Take a look at Deweese. Our replay is brought to you by UCAN.
Go ahead, Dot, take it.
Well, here goes Deweese. She gives that little shot fake, and this time she's ready to take the one-step pull-up before help can come over, and she's got that range. You know, one-on-one, she's terrific. Two-on-one makes it really, really difficult.
UCAN, powered by Superstarch, baked by science. UCAN's pre-workout energy powder will help you maximize your next workout. Log on to their website at generationyoucan.com. UCAN, your personal best awaits.
Yeah, the beauty of whatever the beauty of the decision Deweese made is she pulled up. When she's been able to get it inside, she's been gobbled up by three Manhattan defenders.
Dee Dee Davis, 2 of 2 from the line. Morris, 2 personal fouls, does come back into the game. Quinnipiac down 12 as we approach 2 minutes to go.
And that brings a smile to Billy's face.
It sure does.
Mackenzie Helms hits on the three-pointer.
So now if you're Quinnipiac, you continue to do that action where they had 4 players moving without the basketball and they were able to get the look they needed. So continue to do that and you'll be fine.
Davis, pass deflected. Grisdale ahead. Numbers for Quinnipiac. Good pass by Helms and the finish by Amani Free.
And a couple easy baskets in transition. Get a miss. Helms now running out there with the point. Increases the tempo, Di.
And that was a good decision to give it up and give it to Amani Free coming down the lane. And Amani makes the shot.
Davis, shot short. Deweese underneath. Ahead for Grisdale. Bounce pass inside. Morris right back to Grisdale. 3. It's good.
Quinnipiac on a little baby run. You're going to get a timeout here by Manhattan. Really good job by the Cats. Bam.
And the freshman comes alive. You know, she started it at the three-point shot can do.
Helms and Grisdale, the threes, the 2 by Free in transition. 8 straight points for Quinnipiac. Bobcats have not led at any point. Warley on the bench with 3. And now with this run and on the defensive end, Quinnipiac in the zone. Morris to the bench. Kat Almeida back on the floor.
Well, a little offense-defense there to protect Morris.
Under a minute to go, first quarter. Free the near steal. Grimacing right in our direction as she almost had the theft, but out of bounds. 11 to shoot for the Jaspers.
And watch number 1 out here. She's the one who breaks you down.
Jordan the jumper. That's short. Long rebound comes to Grisdale. Helms looking to push. Bounce pass. Free up top for Helms. Helms uses the screen. Little hesitation. Scoop shot and a foul is going to be called on Brazil Harvey Carr.
And how about the purpose of play of Jackie? Look at as she goes. Mackenzie Helms goes, stutter steps, takes it through 3 defenders. But I like her presence of mind and the pace she's playing.
I like her pace, right? And we talk about Helms, right? I think she's a type of a ball player that needs to play fast, right? You go back to her days where she just dominated the state of Connecticut from East Haven. And she goes out to Nebraska and does what she does out there because she's quick and can handle it. They haven't been able to play with Cavalier, Deweese, and Helms on the court. But Helms stepping in and having her best game so far.
Absolutely.
2 free throws. 2-point game coming up on our Hartford Healthcare halftime report. Diane Nolan with Quinnipiac University women's hockey assistant coach Amanda Mazzata-Alisi. Amanda will join us here on the opposite side of the hockey rink. They face off at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus against Hartford. Shot off the mark. 7 seconds to go. Ball loose on the floor. Deweese is down on the floor along with Jordan. Tie-up situation. Possession arrow Quinnipiac. And the Bobcats will have the ball with 5 seconds to go.
Hey, Di, if we take a timeout here, if Quinnipiac takes a timeout, they get the ball at half court?
Helms in the front court and dribbles out the clock as the Bobcats unable to get a shot off in the closing seconds. But a strong run bringing Quinnipiac to within 2 at the half. Jasper's never far this season. 1 of 5 from the field. 6 rebounds. Just the 2 points for Mackenzie DeWeese. Manhattan will open up with possession to start the third quarter as Brazil Harvey Carr inbounds right in front of us. And the Bobcats, Morris 2 personal fouls opening up in the 2-3.
Well, the 2-3 gave the Jaspers a little bit of difficulty at the end of the first quarter going into the second.
Well, it got them standing on the offensive end, and Quinnipiac was able to play zone because they made baskets and were able to get back into it.
Free on the inside. Great move by Amani Free, unable to finish, and Blagrove the rebound.
Yeah, too good of a move to not reward yourself with a basket.
Davis, 9 to lead Manhattan. Averages about 16 a game. Warley inside, able to connect. Warley now has 8 to go with her 8 rebounds.
Yeah, real easy in there for Warley, who really was able to step through and finish the play.
Di, you've seen Warley over the course of her Manhattan career. Where has her game developed, in your view, the most?
Well, I think she's better in her shot selection. Before, she would not position herself in the offensive boards that she knew to be a rebounder but not a scorer. She's also in better shape. She's now running in transition, so she's just not a low block player.
Yeah, a lot of bounce to her step, right? Difficult guard.
Team exchanging baskets early on here in the third quarter. DeWeese. That shot off the mark. Ball tracked down by Harvey Carr. Harvey Carr, it's a phrase is often used. I want to come up with something better. She's got a nose for the ball. She's always around the basketball.
Well, I think you hit it on the head, right? And again, she lets the game come to her. She doesn't try to do too much. And she's got Dee Dee Davis who handles the ball, and they got the big girl. You know, you're just talking about Collie doing what she does. And she's the third piece of this engine, but accepts it and does a really good job.
And she certainly got into the system quickly. You know, the other ones have played together, and she's the new person on the block. And she's really adjusted nicely.
Kayla Morris, the defensive board. Quinnipiac down 37-33. DeWeese shows the shot fake. DeWeese jumper flat and short and out of bounds. Manhattan basketball.
Well, I mean, you see DeWeese talking to the officials saying, listen, I was player of the year last year in the MAC, and I typically don't shoot air balls from 5 feet. So she said, touching her wrist a little bit, saying, hey, listen, at least I'd hit the rim. So if it's an air ball, typically you got to turn around and take a peek and say why.
And then she thought, I think it was tipped as well, and so it was disrupted in some way.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Lennox that shot an air ball, I mean, you would understand.
We're going the other way.
The dude ain't no good.
Ball don't lie.
I love it.
Blagrove inside missing. DeWeese the rebound.
Oh, that was a great response, Steve.
For Caverly. Bonner on the miss. Weak side rebound. Free. Possession kept alive.
Hey, that's the first one Bonner took, huh, Di?
Yes.
Morris unable to connect. DeWeese taking it away from Jordan, and DeWeese gets the call there. You know, I've had some sleepless nights lately, and I'm wondering as we take a look at Morris, if because I'm trying to come up with those quips.
Well, Morris with another really good move, and just like Free, he just slides it off the glass with too much spin. But listen, what DeWeese does, you just can't teach what DeWeese does.
No, and you know, she was a little upset with the last possession with not making the shot and get disrupted in some way, and she just gets right back into the action.
Yeah, you know what, Di? One thing I don't understand about DeWeese is she's too good of a shooter to miss as many free throws as she misses.
I agree.
1 of 2, 60% on the season, to your point.
But she's coachable, and she heard you.
You know, she's extremely coachable.
Louise closing in on a milestone as she is now in the top 5
And how about Sajeda Bonner
for all-time steals, and her next steal she'll be in the top 5 for single season numbers.
Who's got those numbers? That was better than she was.
I'm glad you asked. Felicia Brown, all-time leader for a single season with 133 steals, 2011-2012 season. The next year, Felicia Brown had 119, so she's got the top 2 marks. Morris with the bucket, and Mackenzie is closing in on Brianna Rooney, who had 74 for 06-07, and then 72 for the 08-09 season.
Boy, I remember them well. I remember Felicia and Rooney. They had quick hands.
Remember the break that they would run with Rooney down in the corner?
Oh, I loved it.
Morris on the inside.
Well,
Quinnipiac, its first lead of the game.
good to see Morris engaged. Good to see her connected. Points at Cavalry with an outstanding feed. And, you know, Morris playing at a high level makes Quinnipiac one of the best in the league.
Good defense against Blagrove. Quinnipiac with the defensive stop and now can add to its first lead of the game. Cavalry a little fancy dribbling going behind the back. DeWeese for Bonner. On the baseline, Caverly, one dribble, shot up, no good. And the rebound for senior Michaela, who's in the game. Other way, Harvey Carr able to finish against Bonner.
Yeah, easy for Carr, right? Figured she was going to pass it, but was able to left-handed, able to use her body, and, you know, just real cleverly able to lay it in.
And there was nothing Bonner could do. She obviously didn't want to foul her, so she tried to wall her up.
Caverly looking for a screen. Rose gets the penetration inside. Bonner upstairs for free. With 6, Morris going to work against the defender. And Morris lowering the shoulder as Blagrove did a nice job there taking the contact. Manhattan basketball. Grisdale and Helms into the game for Quinnipiac.
Yeah, we'll take a peek here. You know, you see Coach Fabry saying, I'm not sure, but man, she put her arm on her, and I thought the defender did what the defender needed to do, which was contact, fall right away, and whether you sell it or you don't sell it, enough when Morris gets called with a third.
Well, anytime you move your hand away from the base of your body, they call it.
Jumper off the mark, offensive rebound, Warley. Ball loose, and it's going to be out of bounds. Kat Almeida in for Morris, who has the 3 personal fouls. Warley and Jordan both have 3 for Manhattan. That could prove to be a factor.
Well, you got to find someone now that's going to rebound for Quinnipiac. With Morris had started dominating that stat sheet, so you need a team rebound now.
Harvey Carr against DeWeese on the baseline, and DeWeese helping force that turnover. And Quinnipiac will take over, down 139-38. Quinnipiac's first lead of the game, short-lived, but within striking distance right now. A 10-0 run to close out the first half, down just 2 at halftime. Grisdale. Helms will track it down. No need to rush here for Quinnipiac in the half court. Free gets a look on a three-pointer and buries it.
That was a really good pass by Helms. She gave it to her in her pocket, and Free didn't question whether she was going to shoot it. I've liked everything that Helms has done this afternoon.
I agree. I mean, she's been the catalyst that has put Quinnipiac back in track.
DeWeese strong to the basket, unable to finish. Free kicks it for Grisdale. Three-pointer. That one off the mark. Jordan the rebound as she was fighting for position against Kat Almeida. Harvey Carr against Grisdale. Warley, the pull-up. No good. A foul as Warley hits the floor. And
now you get a chance here now to see a really good move by that left-handed lay inside. Crawley Hall was able to self-motivate it. You've seen DeWeese, you've seen Free. Self-motivated athletes make you a better coach, Don.
Oh, absolutely. And she has stayed engaged. And sometimes if things aren't going your way, you become disinterested. And she has stayed engaged, stayed on her game. And when her number has called, she's flourished.
Hey, listen, man, one thing you know from education and being a coach, and anybody between the ages of 18 and 25, the one thing this country has in common is everybody's selfish. Right? That's just what happens. Now, COVID has made it stand out more. But so when you get athletes that are ready to go ahead and just say, hey, listen, I got you, those are the ones you want to depend on.
Mackenzie Helms against Davis up top. Free cuts across the free throw line. Grisdale working without the ball. The steal. Out of the timeout. Turnover for Quinnipiac. Davis, the hard foul. And Dee Davis is going to go to the line for a pair of free throws. This Manhattan team, both teams looking for a 10th win overall. Both teams looking to improve to 5-3 in conference play. As we take a look at Davis here first. And Manhattan getting out in transition.
Well, Davis has such great court sense, and she's got the quickness to go with it. So she's engaged in all the plays, and she was able to tap it to her teammate. Brazil Harvey-Clark takes it down the floor, and she comes down and gets the layup.
What a difference, though, Di, right? A difference in terms of when Helms plays at a fast pace and completes passes, and then when she holds the ball and tries to compete. It's a different player, right?
Well, she's a transitional guard. And that's what she is, and so you've got to get the transition going when she's in the floor.
Manhattan by 1. Di, I asked you about Warley earlier in her game and how it's evolved over her career at Manhattan. You saw Manhattan, part of the A-10 or A-Sun MAC Challenge in Orlando, Florida back in November. 31-point loss against Florida Gulf Coast, 2-point loss against Stetson, shot off the mark, and a foul in the backcourt. What have you seen from Manhattan, seeing them early on in the season? How have they evolved over the course of this 21-22 college basketball season?
Well, first of all, I got to give credit to Coach Heather Voulin. I mean, down in Florida, they had Petra Jurek, who is a freshman who has a lot of length and a lot of potential, and they had Emily LaPointe. So now both players right now are currently injured, and she's done, I think, a really fine job of being able to get other players to buy into the system and to play around Davis and Warley. So you've got some new players out there learning that system, and she's been able to bring them along, and they've had some great signature wins.
That play right there, the ball hit off Harvey-Clark. That would have been a backcourt violation, right? They're saying it's off DeWeese. Is that how you saw that, Billy, right in front of us?
I saw it a definite backcourt. Now, again, maybe DeWeese saw that the ball was touched by Quinnipiac going over, but she went at it with the intensity of, like, listen, we got to get a steal here. Davis
the miss. Blagrove inside. Ball batted around. And Caverly will bring the ball in the front court. Quinnipiac down 1, coming up on 3 minutes to go, third quarter.
Yeah, team rebound there by Quinnipiac, and without Morris, you're going to need more of that.
Morris with 3 fouls. Warley and Jordan 3 fouls apiece for Manhattan. Free. Buries a three-pointer.
Boy, she's come up big, hasn't she? She's clutch out here.
Not many players like catching a bounce pass and elevating that into a shot, but Free seems to enjoy catching a bounce pass as it goes right into his shooting pocket. Good
and I love her confidence.
We saw C.T. Haywood with a career-high 31 in a win over St. Peter's, and we wanted to see the follow-up performance. Unfortunately, at Iona, she got hurt. Now Free with a terrific performance Monday at St. Peter's, and now following that up with another strong performance. Caverly got in trouble. DeWeese came over for the help. Free, another three-point attempt. That one short. And DeWeese trying to save it, unable to do so. Manhattan basketball with 2:07 to go here in the third quarter, 44-44. First of 2 regular season meetings between Manhattan and Quinnipiac. They'll play at Manhattan in early March.
Di, early in the first quarter, you saw anytime DeWeese went to the baseline, she was double teamed. She's kicked it up a notch, huh? Because now she's getting in there and been able to throw that pass with her left hand.
Davis, count the bucket for Dee Davis. The foul on Kat Almeida. And Davis to the line for 1.
And credit her teammates, because now they've been putting the ball in the basket. So yeah, look at Davis. I mean, she goes along here. She knows she's being played by someone bigger, clutches the ball, takes it up, draws the contact, finds herself at the lane.
Every now and then as a coach, and you've gone through it, I went through it, you have that one special player that when they get it going, no one else can guard them. And Dee Davis is one of those once-in-a-lifetime guards that just makes your job a lot easier.
Oh, it certainly does. You know, when shots go in and when your teammates know that your shot's going in, you can play a lot easier out here.
DeWeese for Free. Morris looking for position inside. Morris back to Free. Amani, the penetration, trying for the shovel pass, and Blagrove and Warley were both there.
So here's what I was taught at DeMatha being a point guard. You throw the ball inside to Adrian Dantley, and he throws it back out to you. You do nothing but throw it back into him again.
Great feed by Rose Cavalli on the baseline to find Amani Free through traffic. Easy bucket underneath.
Because the purpose of throwing it back is because the post player makes an adjustment and then catches that pass and is able to go ahead and finish the play. So
Free back-to-back games with 19 points. 46-46 coming up on a minute to go in the third quarter. Manhattan trying to avoid a third straight loss in conference play. Bobcats looking for a second straight conference win. DeWeese the weak side rebound. Her 10th rebound of the game. Grisdale unable to finish. Morris is there for the putback.
That's a great job by Grisdale, able to go ahead and keep that ball alive with some pretty intense pressure by the receiver. And Morris, again, engaged, running 94 feet with the finish.
Davis missing. Blagrove, offensive rebound. That has been a theme throughout. Manhattan, second, third chance opportunities. 10 on the shot clock. Coming up on 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Davis lost it. And a foul in the backcourt. Dee Davis will pick up the personal foul. That's her second.
Quinnipiac ball die, 29 seconds. No doubt now, right? Quinnipiac's got to hold this for one possession so they get the ball to start the third quarter.
Absolutely, and I like the way Morris has been engaged in this quarter. I mean, she's being disruptive on the defensive end, and I think really is perked up the interest on the offensive end where give me the ball.
You know what I like even more? She got 3 personal fouls and she's playing.
Mackenzie DeWeese with that steal, her 73rd of the season. She's now top 5 for most steals in a single season for Quinnipiac. Entered today leading the nation with those 70. Caverly knocks down the triple. Bobcats' largest lead of the game.
Well, you know, Caverly knocks it down, but now you're putting yourself in a position where you need to stop.
Near carry, shot off the mark. There is the final buzzer. Bobcats down 2 at the start of the third quarter, going to the fourth quarter here at home, up 51-46. Quinnipiac.
Shot clock. And she's delivered it time and time again. Happened down at Fordham, happened at Iona, and it happens here again.
Dee Davis, 12 points. Warley also has 12 points for Manhattan. Davis, though, just 4 of 16 from the field. 3 of her 4 makes in the first quarter. She's 1 of 8 from the field since then. What have you seen from Quinnipiac? Here's Caverly, same spot, different result as she misses on the 3 to open up the fourth quarter.
Well, the Bobcats have changed their defenses from their fist, their man, to 2-3 zone, and they've also changed different people who are guarding Dee Davis. And that, you know, you can put a taller player, you can put a smaller player, and it makes her change her rhythm.
And the other thing that you notice with Dee Davis is when she gives the ball up, she doesn't get it back. Manhattan's making plays without her getting it back. So when she dominates the bounce, I think that's where they've been the best. Another steal here by DeWeese. And then watch how she doesn't allow herself to be double teamed. Again, uses that arm a little bit to protect herself and gets a personal foul called on Manhattan.
Well, she tucks that ball in, and when you're trying to reach it, she has an uncanny way of getting it to the opposite side of the defender, so the defender's arm has to go around her and across her. She draws the foul.
Well, she's so strong, you know, and it keeps bodies away from her. Tough little break there by Morris on a really good play.
Davis against Frey. Getting down low on the dribble, gets inside and scores. She's got a team-high 14.
Well, how about that? I mean, she's being defended by Free, who's got inches on her. She's able to slice in the lane, and a little hesitation move.
Allen Iverson never passed, right? So,
yes, he did.
He never passed. He's in the Hall of Fame because he could score, dude. Dee Davis needs just to shoot every time she has it.
DeWeese, the up and under, and shot blocked, and the deflection out of bounds off Manhattan. 12 to shoot for Quinnipiac. Opening 2 minutes, fourth quarter.
Maybe Allen Iverson never practiced. Maybe that's true.
Oh, he did practice.
Caverly for Free.
That was misinterpreted.
Oh, that was the greatest line ever. Practice.
How many times have you seen that played again and again?
I love it.
21 for Free.
And how about it was the same out-of-bounds play underneath, a new wrinkle that Coach Fabry put in to the coaching staff.
Harvey Carr trying to answer. Shot off the mark. Put back no by Warley. And trying to save it, Harvey Carr. Quinnipiac basketball up 5.
And I liked how Morris in there took up a lot of space. I mean, she affected that rebound 3 different times.
Well, you know what she did, Di? That was really good. That's a really good thought. Really good. What you said makes a lot of sense. And she moved her feet from one side to the other. She's not standing today.
No.
She's active and moving.
And there was a point, a couple of bench players were on the floor in that first half for Quinnipiac, and they didn't really move.
Yeah,
as we take a look at Free, new season high.
You're right, Steve. A couple possessions in terms of really standing, and you haven't seen that since the end of the first quarter.
Davis, a denial against Caverly. Deweese finally is able to give it up. Shot clock at 7. Caverly hounded by Davis. Shot clock at 2. Deweese hoists it up, too strong. Grisdale bats it out. Ends up in the hands of Warley. Warley double-double, 12 and 11 rebounds, hitting her season average in rebounds. Harvey Carr, and the foul called. And it's going to be on Manhattan. We'll go the other way.
And once again, Deweese is involved in the play. I mean, she creates that foul call.
Yeah, she's always involved in the defensive end. So, Di, 5 points here, 5-point lead. Quinnipiac with the ball. Had a couple chances now, up 5, and haven't been able to answer the bell. Who are you looking for here as a coach in terms of running something for somebody?
Well, I would look, obviously, to get the ball into Morris. I mean, she has been really on her game today. She's got a bounce in her step, as you mentioned, but I think she's making good decisions. She's taking the ball to the hole when it presents itself, but she's also delivering a good scoring pass outside of the paint.
You know what, Di? Very clear for me to tell why you run 1,438 games, man, because you hit that, you nailed that, girl. Seriously, that was outstanding conversation about what Morris has done.
Hey, well, when I'm working with you two, I got to up my game.
Officials coming together for a moment. Bobcats ball, 5-point lead, 7.5 to go, fourth quarter. Caverly using the screen by Morris, who goes down low, now looking for a position against a smaller Davis. They get it inside to Morris, and unable to connect. Courtney Warley the rebound.
Yeah, just caught it in an area where she wasn't able to have enough room to use the backboard effectively.
Deweese the steal. She has really come alive, her 5th of the game. Gets it for Morris, the high lob. Morris has space, shot short. And Warley and Morris have both done a nice job playing with the 3 fouls. Pull up is good for Harvey Carr.
Harvey Carr's got that little left-handed Lamar Odom shot coming down the lane there. I'd force her right a little bit and see how much damage she can do from the other side.
Almeida and Bonner will check in for Quinnipiac at the next whistle. Mackenzie Deweese knocks down the 3, her first 3 of the game.
And credit the Bobcat bench yelling, shoot it, shoot it. She had separation, and she listened. She can be well coached.
Quinnipiac by 6. Grisdale the steal. Jordan on the baseline throwing it right into the hands of Jackie Grisdale.
If Grisdale next year is a sophomore, she would tip that ball to Deweese, so Deweese gets the steal.
They work it on the perimeter. Caverly to the cutter. Deweese, the block on the inside by Warley.
And good play by Warley there. I mean, she was trailing Deweese, and she had the presence of mind to put her hand up and not foul. And she came from almost mid-post down to block that shot.
Yeah, she did a really good job. You know, it's got some length to her and really good timing.
Warley, grad student from Westchester, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia. And a foul called. It will be on Manhattan.
And good call by the official, because I'm not sure the Bobcats knew there were 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
Nascimento picks up the foul, her second. Team's 4th. Free will inbound right in front of Trish Fabry.
And Coach Fabry has certainly been engaged in this game.
Well, she was stunned early. You know, you looked at that score early on, so it was like, wait a minute, this is not my basketball team, but was able to get them jump-started, and they've been really good ever since.
Caverly putting the ball to the floor, gets inside. Scoop shot is good for Rose Caverly. She's got 7.
Boy, just like her mama taught her, right? Turn the corner and turn around and get that thing up into the rim.
There is Deweese again, forcing the turnover in transition. Deweese, the pull-up, going to be short, and there is the whistle. And we credit the bench for telling her to shoot a couple of possessions ago. They helped sell that foul almost.
No, not almost.
All the way.
They all the way sold that foul.
Well,
like, come on, official. And then they got the whistle.
Well, I think the foul happened a couple possessions ago when she didn't get it. So it's like, you got to give me one.
Deweese was egregious, and I think when the whole team stood up right in front of the official, behind the official, and said, hey, look, come on, man, I got fouled. They blew the whistle. And listen, I don't mind when officials blow the call late. They have a chance to take a look at it and then really make a determination. A chance to see it here. So another good feed by Cavalier cross court, which Quinnipiac has done well. DeWeese is open and gets hit on the hand coming up. So, again, sometimes as an official, you look at the result and does it make sense, and that foul made sense.
And she nails both free throws, which she hasn't done, I think, all game long.
Quinnipiac down by 13 in the first half, up 10 as DeWeese goes to the bench, 5:22 to go in regulation.
I think I'd have her play with a backpack with one of those straws that come out on the bottom of the backpack. Take a drink while you're playing, girl. You don't need to come out of the game. You're climbing a mountain. You can't take a break.
DeWeese double-double, 5th of the season, and Amani free.
I've never seen that call since the rules changed, 5 years ago, where offense always has the ability to put their body into a defender. That's a whistle always called on the defense. So, again, really good call that time because Davis did lean in. Good job by Free.
Absolutely. You know, she tried to create that separation, and you're right, it usually goes always in the offensive player's favor.
Davis goes to the bench with 4 personal fouls. Blagrove also with 4. Pass deflected. Caverly able to come away with it. Shot clock inside of 10. Caverly 3. It's good for
Caverly
Rose.
likes that matchup. She likes that matchup.
Well,
she knows she can go ahead and turn around without Dee Davis on her. She's got an advantage and just said, listen, let me do this.
Rose Caverly coming alive. Quinnipiac up by 12 with 4:31 to go, and we've got a break in the action.
And then you got Rose Cavalier leading Quinnipiac into that break. So Cavalier.
4:31 to go in regulation. Steve Lennox, Bill Mecca, Diane Nolan from the People's United Center here in Hendon, Connecticut. Bobcats by 12. Morris at the whistle, bringing us to the media timeout, picking up the foul, her 4th of the game.
Spent some time on the bench, but has been playing through that foul situation. And Kat Almeida's done a really nice job for Quinnipiac during her minutes for Morris.
Jordan on the inside with the basket. Jenna Jordan in double figures. 3 Manhattan players now in double figures. Quinnipiac led by Free 21 and DeWeese 10.
Yeah, really nice job there by Jordan, selling that all the way. So, you know.
And that's the way the officials have called. You know, if you extend your shoulder and you dip it and drop it, they're going to call it.
Officials hot behind Jordan. Jordan did a good job thinking that Almeida was pushing her a little bit and got in front. So good sell there by Jordan.
Second team foul on Quinnipiac. Jordan up top, missing. Warley looked like Free had position. Warley helping keep that possession alive.
Yeah, Free did everything she was supposed to, except her hands weren't up when she was boxing out. Tendency with hands down when you box out, which gave an opportunity for Warley to do what she just did there.
Davis the miss. Warley again on the offensive boards, and Courtney Warley to the line.
And that was an outstanding job by Warley. I mean, she went up to draw the contact. She knew there were 3 people underneath there, and she just used her body, her arms straight up, and really sold that whistle.
I got an interesting question for you here, Di. You got a chance with this Manhattan team. You get first pick. Is your pick going to be Warley, or is your pick Dee Davis?
Dee Davis.
You take Dee Davis?
Yes.
Yeah, I love guards too. And I think Warley makes you a winner, right? Because she does a lot of stuff too.
I think Warley's having an outstanding game today.
She is having a terrific game, another double-double. I sometimes get myself in trouble with these comparisons, and it's more demeanor, the way she runs the floor, the way she plays her game. Warley, Tim Duncan.
I like that.
Yeah,
so you're telling me you would take Warley if you're starting the team?
I think I would.
Yeah, that's because you couldn't dribble. So, agreed. You
Yes.
could see yourself being Warley. So could I. Kurt Rambis.
Free, shot blocked, 3 on the shot clock. Amani gets another look, short. Morris offensive rebound. Shot clock back to 20. All game long, it's been second, third opportunities for Manhattan. Right there, Quinnipiac providing that opportunity.
Well, you got a tired Manhattan team. They exerted a lot of energy in that first quarter, and Quinnipiac kept on battling back. I think you got a tired team.
Caverly off glass, no. Jordan the rebound. Under 3 to go. Ahead of the pack. Michaela able to finish. Great look ahead by Dee Davis.
And that's transition offense to a T. I mean, Davis knew where her teammates were, gave the perfect pace pass, and she was able to put it away.
Quinnipiac has scored the ball in the second, third, and fourth quarter, which has stopped Manhattan from running in transition. They've got a couple because of Quinnipiac misses. They got it to a 6-point game, so big possession here.
From 12 to 6, shot clock at 7. DeWeese, the runner inside, off glass and in.
Not an easy shot to be able to get into the middle of the court and still use the backboard to knock it in, but to DeWeese, that's her signature play.
And how about calling for the screen for Morris? You know, Morris playing with the 4 fouls has to be a little careful out there, so she set the perfect screen for her.
Well, screens do matter.
Quinnipiac, 2 players in double figures. Morris 9, Caverly 9. Grisdow off the bench 8. Free trying to poke it away from Warley. Free has a team high and game high 21.
Now look at the way Davis moves around the floor. She is hitting all spots.
Jordan, contact with DeWeese. Jordan to the floor along with Jada Bonner and Amani Free.
Nice feed, but really good recovery by
Siena up in Albany. Siena enters on a 4-game win streak, beating up on Ryder 82-44 earlier in the week.
And Siena, obviously they had a coaching change, so it took a while for them to understand Coach Jaber's philosophy. But now they have it, and they're 4-0 in the MAC.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned that to me the other day, and I was surprised because how easy Quinnipiac went up to Albany and took care of business.
Dee Davis, another opportunity on an offensive rebound. Davis knocking down the 3.
You just can't lose her out here on the floor. No matter what happens, you've got to put a body on her.
Quinnipiac lead is 5. Davis 17 to lead Manhattan. Right at our season average, just under 17 a game. Caverly looking to use the screen. With 5, Caverly got inside, ball poked away. DeWeese, baseline jumper. That one falls. How about that? Got a lot of rim.
You always think to say that, listen, DeWeese is opportunistic, right? That just doesn't happen. You know, strength and luck go together, and you've got DeWeese being lucky. It's because she never gives up.
La Grove called for the travel. 18th turnover for Manhattan.
And the Bobcats are making some very good defensive stances here against the Jaspers, who are, you know, they've got an upset-minded offense going, but I like what the Bobcats are doing on the defensive end.
Morris able to corral the pass from Caverly in the backcourt. Near turnover for Quinnipiac as Caverly gets into the front court. Grisdow on the baseline showing the patience. Caverly also showing patience there. Could have put it up. 45 seconds to go, 12 on the shot clock.
Yeah, surprised Manhattan hasn't fouled, to be honest with you. You know, you're trailing by 7. The clock's going to run down. I don't know if you're going to have enough time.
And there is the foul. It will be called on Brazil Harvey Carr as Quinnipiac took 27 seconds off the clock, 35.7 to go in the game, and the end result is free throws.
A conscious effort on Manhattan's behalf there, or maybe just a lack of communication by the staff to the players that we needed to foul there? Or
I think just lack of communication.
There's no chance you're not going to foul on that possession to try to get the game to last longer, right? Cavalry did a good job that time, really passing up a shot and taking it back out and extending the clock.
I think you heard the entire arena take a breath. You thought she was going to put it up because she has that uncanny ability to score it. And how about when DeWee's previous shot, I think it...
Ball's fumbled a little bit, and out of nowhere, DeWeese is in there, knows the clock in her mind, and, you know, as Di said, the ball hit every part of that rim, but I'm a big fan of, hey, listen, luck happens when preparation meets opportunity, and that's the definition of DeWeese.
14 of her 16 in the second half. Manhattan inside, and the whistle They're going to count the bucket and a foul on Quinnipiac, so an opportunity for a three-point play, I believe. Is that? Yes, and Warley to the line.
And that'll be Morris's 5th foul, I believe.
Well, everybody seems surprised that they indeed called the foul, but, I guess you can get Morris on the push a little bit with a chest.
But that's been happening all game long. I mean, the war between the two of them has been, a little leaning on each other as they go across the lane. But Warley's put in a great effort tonight.
Misses on the free throw. Almeida position. And a foul or out of bounds. Ball went out of bounds. And both teams almost immediately going to their bench. 16-4. So you're really putting Fairfield in that top seed in the MAC just because of the fact that they've gotten off to a terrific start and they show no signs of slowing down.
Well, I don't see them slowing down at all. I watched their Manhattan game, and they are just a senior-laden team, and Coach Frager's last year, and they're playing with an extra punch.
Yeah, unless Lopez goes to Spain, and then she can't get in because of visa and COVID issues. I think they're a lock for the #1 seed, to be honest with you.
Rose Caverly to the line.
Bill, I'm going to ask you this as a coach. The women's game, you can advance the ball on a timeout. Do you like it for the men?
I don't like advancing the ball for women. So, no, I like the game being played the way the game's being played. Because it takes a whole lot of strategy away from being able to handle press offense, press defense. So, I like it. I like it when it's not convenient for coaches and players. And I think the convenience of half court takes out a part of the game that now you can't attack as a defensive team. This isn't the NBA. I think you should be able to go ahead and coach your team up. 3, string together another 5, make you 10-3, and then you put yourself in that position where you solidify yourself in that second spot.
Absolutely, and remember the top seeds get that bye. So now you're fighting for rest, and you're fighting to be able to come in with already a good position.
Long 2 for Courtney Warley. 7-point game. And we'll go the other way. Foul in the backcourt. Bobcats trying to close this one out at the free throw line. Amani Free 21. DeWeese 16. Caverly a couple of free throws just a few moments ago to put her in double figures. And now she's got a chance and an opportunity to add to that total.
Yeah, 63 points for Manhattan. But what's the number with DD and Warley? That's a lethal pair.
Combined 35.
Well, I thought it would be more.
Well, remember, they got 10 points from Jordan as well, and 9 from Brazil Harvey Carr. So they had, other people stepping up as well.
Caverly knocks down a pair of free throws, 16.3 to go. And this will be a full timeout on the floor with the Bobcats up by 9.
Back all that and get it done, play Division I athletics, and to perform in that classroom.
Absolutely, and I had a chance to look at some of the majors that the athletes, student athletes are in, and they are demanding majors, physician assistants, CPAs, all kinds of really quality majors.
Warley with the basket. 72-65, under 10 seconds to go. Manhattan will back off. Rose Caverly, one of 3 players in double figures for Quinnipiac. Bobcats down 18-7 at the end of the first quarter, down by 2 at the half, led after 3, and wins 72-65 against the Manhattan Jaspers.
Well, after being dominated in that